It was a warm, sunny afternoon, and I found myself sitting at my favorite cafe. The gentle hum of conversations around me created a cozy atmosphere. Today was special because my friends, Maria and João, were coming to meet for our weekly language exchange club session. "Hi, everyone!" I greeted them with a smile as they arrived. Maria waved enthusiastically, and João followed with a shy nod. We settled into our usual corner, surrounded by the aroma of freshly brewed coffee and pastries. "So, what challenge are we tackling today?" João asked, looking curious. "We're going to focus on practicing simple phrases," I replied, "especially those we use to express desires and ask for help in English." Maria nodded thoughtfully. "That sounds helpful. I always get stuck when I want to say something, but don't know how exactly," I said. "That's why we're here to support each other and make learning fun." With that, we began discussing ways to incorporate basic expressions into our conversations. The atmosphere was lighthearted, filled with laughter as we helped Joel with his pronunciation and sentence structure. "Let's start with 'I want to,'" I suggested. "Can you give an example?" Joel hesitated, but then tried. "I want to eat a pizza." "Perfect." I praised him. "Now, let's add something more specific." "I want to eat a pizza" is a great start, but you can make it even clearer. The conversation flowed naturally from there, with each of us sharing phrases and offering corrections. By the end of the session, Joel felt more confident, and Maria and I felt proud of the progress we made. "See you next week," Maria said as we packed up. "And keep practicing." Joel smiled brightly, his confidence shining through. "Thank you, everyone. I'll keep practicing." As we walked away from the cafe, I felt a sense of accomplishment. Our little group was growing stronger, and learning English together was turning into a joyful experience. The following week, we met again at our favorite cafe, ready to continue practicing. The sun was shining just as brightly as before, and there was a sense of excitement in the air. Joel, who had been practicing since our last meeting, seemed a bit nervous but determined. "Hey, Joel, how's your practice going?" I asked as he sat down, his eyes wide with anticipation. "I've been practicing a lot, but sometimes I get confused with the words," he admitted. "I keep mixing up the sentence structures." Maria smiled sympathetically. "It's okay, Joel. We all get confused sometimes. That's why we're here to help." I nodded in agreement. "Exactly. Let's work through it together." "Don't worry about making mistakes. It's part of the process." Joel took a deep breath and began. "I want to go to the park but I don't know what to say when I'm there." "That's a good start," I said, encouraging him. "You're using 'I want to,' which is perfect, but let's focus on the second part. You could say, 'I want to go to the park, but I don't know what to do.' Does that sound right?" Joel thought for a moment and nodded. "I think so." "I don't know what to do." "Exactly. See how easy it is when we break it down," Maria added. "It's just about practicing the right words in the right order." We continued going over simple phrases, correcting Joel's mistakes gently. "Remember, it's not about being perfect," I said. "The more you practice, the easier it gets." At that point, Maria chimed in, sharing her own struggles with English. "I used to have trouble saying, 'Can you help me?' I'd always say, 'Help me, please,' and it didn't sound right." I smiled at her. It's all about learning how to phrase things politely. "Can you help me?" is the most natural way to ask. We all repeated the phrase together, laughing as we practiced pronunciation. The air was filled with a sense of camaraderie, and I could tell that Joel was feeling more at ease. By the end of the session, he was confidently using the phrases we had practiced. "Great job, Joel," I said, proud of his progress. "Keep practicing, and it'll only get better from here." With renewed motivation, we said our goodbyes, each of us feeling like we were one step closer to mastering English together. The next meeting of the Language Exchange Club arrived quickly. The air was crisp and fresh, with a slight breeze coming through the cafe's open windows. As usual, I arrived early to grab our favorite corner table, setting up for another session of learning and fun. Maria and Joel arrived together, both looking eager to continue practicing. Ready for today's challenge? I asked, grinning. Definitely. Joel responded, pulling out his notebook. I've been practicing the phrases we worked on last time. I feel more confident now. Good to hear, I said, nodding. Today, we're going to do a group exercise. We'll practice using I want to. Can you help me? And let's practice together. These are all really useful phrases, and today we're going to practice them in real conversations. Maria smiled. That sounds fun. I like the idea of practicing together. We started with a simple warm-up. I asked, Joel, can you use I want to in a sentence? Joel thought for a moment, then proudly said, I want to learn English better. That's great. I praised him. Now, Maria, can you help me? In a sentence, Maria smiled and said, can you help me with my homework? Perfect. I cheered. Now let's combine both phrases. I want you to imagine that we're in different situations. I'll ask a question, and you'll answer with one of these phrases. Ready? Both nodded eagerly. Okay. Joel, imagine you're at a store and need assistance. What would you say? Joel took a deep breath and responded confidently, can you help me find the right size? Excellent, I said. And Maria, imagine you're talking to a friend. What would you say if you wanted to make plans? Maria responded quickly, let's practice together tomorrow. I smiled, proud of their progress. See how easy it is when we use these phrases. Now, let's try a full conversation. Joel, you start. Ask Maria for help with something. Joel nodded, and they began their conversation, using the phrases naturally and confidently. I could see their progress in real time, and it felt amazing to watch them grow. After some more practice, I said, great job, both of you. It's so much easier to speak when we practice together. We ended the session with high spirits, feeling accomplished and motivated for the next challenge. Our fourth meeting of the Language Exchange Club was a bit quieter, the cafe having fewer customers that afternoon. We sat down with our coffees and notebooks, ready to dive into the lessons we had been practicing over the past few weeks. Alright, today we're going to focus on reviewing and explaining some of the phrases we've been using, I said, excited to reinforce what we had learned. Let's go over some key points from our conversations and make sure we're all using them correctly. Maria smiled, her eyes focused. I've been trying to use I want to in different situations, but I'm still not sure if I'm always using it right. No worries, I reassured her. That's what we're here for, so let's break it down. I want to is a very useful phrase to express desires or intentions. It's something you can use when you want to talk about something you like to do, like I want to go to the park, or I want to learn English better. You can use it in almost any situation where you're talking about your plans or wishes. Maria nodded, taking notes. I see, so it's just about talking about something you wish or plan to do. Exactly, I said, giving her a thumbs up. Now, let's talk about can you help me? This one is so important when you're asking for assistance or when you want to offer help. It's polite and useful in many situations, like at work, in stores, or even when you're learning something new. Joel raised his hand, eager to contribute. So if I say, can you help me with my homework? That's correct. Yes, Joel, that's perfect. I encouraged him. You can use it in different situations, just like when we practiced in the store. It works in any place where you need help. Let's practice together is another great phrase. I continued. It's a way to invite someone to join you in doing something, like studying or playing a game. You could say, let's practice together next week, or let's practice together every day. It shows you're willing to do something with someone else. Both Maria and Joel repeated the phrases as I explained. They seemed more confident now, knowing how to use each phrase properly. I feel much better about these phrases now, Maria said, grinning. Me too, Joel agreed. I think I'm finally starting to get it. That's awesome. I replied, the more we practice, the easier it will get. As our practice session ended, I leaned forward with a smile. Now it's time for a mini challenge. We've learned a lot today, and I want to see how much you've retained. Let's put it to the test. Maria and Joel looked at me curiously, eager to take on the challenge. Don't worry, I said, this will be fun. I'm going to give you both a situation, and you'll need to use the phrases we've been practicing today. Are you ready? Yes, Joel said enthusiastically, while Maria nodded with a determined look. Okay, here's the first situation. I began. Imagine you're at a new job, and you don't know how to do something. What would you say to ask for help? Joel thought for a moment, then confidently said, Can you help me with this task? Great job, I praised him. Now, Maria, here's a different scenario. Imagine you're planning a fun day with a friend. What would you say to suggest practicing English together? Maria grinned and answered, Let's practice together this weekend. Perfect, I said, giving her a thumbs up. You're both doing fantastic. Now, I want everyone watching this video to join in. You can also try these phrases at home. Turning to the camera, I continued, if you're watching, I challenge you to come up with your own sentences using I want to. Can you help me? And let's practice together. Write them down in the comments below, or say them out loud and repeat after me. I paused to give the viewers a moment to respond. Now, let's all practice together. Ready? Repeat after me. I want to learn English. Both Maria and Joel repeated after me, and I smiled. Great. Now let's do the next one. Can you help me with my homework? We all repeated the phrase together. The energy in the cafe was light and cheerful as we felt more connected to each other and to our viewers. This is so much fun, Joel exclaimed. I love practicing with all of you. Me too, Maria agreed, smiling at the camera. Learning together makes everything easier. Feeling energized and proud of our progress, we closed the challenge with a sense of accomplishment. As we wrapped up our meeting, I felt a strong sense of pride in what we had achieved together. Maria and Joel were more confident in their English skills, and the excitement from the mini challenge still hung in the air. So, how do you feel now, after practicing all those phrases? I asked, turning to both of them. I feel a lot better, Maria said, her eyes shining. I'm not as nervous to speak in English anymore. I know I can do it. Same here, Joel added. It's like everything is starting to make sense now. I know I just need to keep practicing. I smiled, proud of their progress. Exactly, the more we practice, the more confident we get. And remember, it's okay to make mistakes. It's part of learning. Yeah, mistakes are just opportunities to get better, Maria said with a laugh. I nodded. That's the spirit. Every small step you take makes a difference. Keep practicing, and don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. You're doing great. Before we left, I turned to the camera, and for everyone watching, I want to remind you learning a new language is a journey. It's not always easy, but with each practice session, you'll improve. Keep going, and don't give up. I smiled warmly. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep practicing with us, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notifications so you won't miss the next story. Let us know in the comments what phrases you're working on and share your progress with us. We're all in this together. Maria and Joel waved to the camera. See you next time. Joel said, keep practicing. Maria added. As we stood up to leave, I felt a renewed sense of excitement for the next meeting. We were all growing, learning, and having fun along the way.